There's a little tester for you, just a little test to see. I'm going to show you a couple of little tips that I found along the way, which you quite like. I think you'll like. Get yourself comfortable. First of all, go out and buy yourself the BK Cockpit's lower panel dash panel for VR. It's not actually virtual reality, it's actually a physical item, but it's only there and you can see everything down your nose. Ha, brilliant. And you have the normal screen in front of you, but this is virtual reality. As you can see, I've got my headset on, but I can see everything that's here. And I found a little tip. Get yourself an iPad, an old iPad 1, and then set that as your VR screen. And then if you ever get out of VR, get back in, you just press the touch screen on there, and then your mouse comes into VR. So you get rid of that problem when you sort of go out of VR and you can't get back in. Just press the screen and it puts you back into VR. So that's a little tip. So hopefully that's a good enough tip for everybody to be happy about, because I love it. This setup there is absolutely great. I sort of downloaded this program and it seems to have appeared. How, I don't know. It has appeared in my simulator now. So I've got like a better GPS, GNS 750 or something. So that's good. But what this is for, I'm actually going to move over where I will be sitting. I'll be sitting there. Hopefully, when I look straight, you'll see the cockpit and stuff. And it doesn't look like there's very much there, but there's actually a panel here. See? So on that panel, if I so desired, which I could have done if I had it in my hand, which I had it, and I think I picked it up and put it down somewhere, because everything's black in this room and my phone's black. So I can never find it. So anyway, generally what happens is you got this situation now where I'm actually in VR at the moment, looking at the cockpit, and I can see everything else that's here. And it's all on a transparent. This is slightly tinted, this one, but we're doing them in transparent now as well, purely for this reason. So you can use it as a cockpit like this in VR, but also you can use it without. So if I decided not to go into VR kind of thing, I'll just move my headset around a bit. This would be kind of the screen you'd see if it wasn't in VR. Now that is probably the best cockpit you're going to get, because it's the real cockpit out of the aircraft. So I'm actually using the screen as my cockpit, but using everything else, all the plugins and the radios and everything else as everything else that I need to use. So I don't need a knobster or anything, I just use the cockpit things that are in here. Could probably buy a knobster and fit it on the unit or something. But see, that's how it generally works. So, and it's a really clever idea. I'm really quite pleased with it. I can't find my telephone, but I'll put my wallet up there. You probably can't see that anyway, but my wallet now, it sits on that screen, yeah. Okay? So there is actually a physical panel here. But this is going to be a completely clear panel. So you can use it, like I say now, like that one over there. If you look at that side, where you got that's the VR headset. But if you look at the panel there, that's not VR, that's a real iPad, but its iPad is screwed on to a clear panel, so you can't really see very well, I don't suppose, but it is actually the clear panel there. See, that's a clear panel which is there, and there's going to be one here and there's going to be one there, so you can change your aircraft really quickly just by putting your iPad on the holder, and then you can make it as you want it, and you could just have the background of the cockpit in the background like that as a fixed thing, not in VR. So it's VR stroke real, really. I did it by mistake, in fact, guys, because I was actually didn't have my my VR headset. It was downstairs or something. I think I don't know. Well, I hadn't set it up or something. I can't remember exactly. I'm not going to lie, but I didn't have it working. So I just basically went out of VR for a minute, like so, and I just ran the flight sim program and had the cockpit dashboard in front of me, using all the panels like I normally do, like the flight sim thing. But I changed from the cockpit I was using to this one, which I peeled the back off at some stage and made it completely transparent, just to see how bright it was to put the lights through, sort of like to backlight it. And it's kind of then that actually dawned on me, I don't actually need the cockpit. I'm talking about myself, really. I'm probably a bit greedy, really. But no, I don't really need all the cockpit. It's where everything goes to be able to change the cockpit, which is fun. I bought one from America, which was a Cessna one, which was great for about 2 weeks, but I soon got bored of flying just Cessnas, and then I fly something else, and then, you know, it doesn't seem to work. It was just like, this just doesn't even feel right. And I figured the best cockpits they can possibly get are the ones that are actually in the simulator. Don't you agree? So as long as you've got something that's below. Now, to be honest, the way this is set up at the moment, because you're looking VR, and I'm chatting to you on VR, it's all over the place. So I'm just going to do it just for you. I'll move my screen just from one to the other for a second. And I mean, I'm probably teaching you to suck eggs, so you probably already know this, but if you go into your flight sim and you've got your flight sim on the screen and stuff like that, if I just go out of VR just for a moment, right, I'm gone out of VR now, okay, and now I'm going to put this screen, if it'll allow me. It gets a bit of a hiccup on my system when I do that, because I've got like 4 or 5 monitors on the go at the moment. Okay, where is my mouse? Okay, it's there, isn't it? It's very small. I'll put my mouse by touching it, can't I? Here you go. Right, so if I grab that like this and I just move it by unlocking it like this, yeah, and I put it up into the right screen that I want it on, and I do it like this. This is what I do when I'm not flying virtual reality. I'm flying it kind of like this. So if you can see what I'm doing now. Now I've got this is on my TV. It's not a pretty great television or anything like that. It's just a old bloody plasma thing. But if you see, I need to see the camera so you can see the view. What I've actually got set up here. So now, yeah, this is a physical cockpit, and this is what it looks like, pretty much. So if I set that up, you can see I'll move this and size it the way, however I want it to be, so it looks like the cockpit. Sorry, my web camera's not on a twistable mount at the moment, so that's probably a bit better. Right, so that's what I see. Unfortunately, you don't see very much. You just see like a purple and a horrible screen, so it's not very clear. It could be my web camera, I don't know. But anyway, so that's what I see. Yeah, and I can see all these things in the front there. They're all the gauges, all from the actual proper aircraft and stuff. And obviously I change my radio frequencies. I turn it here and I can see it turning over there when it's all connected up, which isn't at the moment. Same with my standby and stuff like that. If you wanted to get a knob, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have one just probably on your desk or set somewhere close by, so you can just use it for like operating the GPS and stuff like that, which would be cool, because the rest of it you can pretty much operate from the radios and stuff and your and stuff like that from the Satec products. But that looks like a really good cockpit, and it is a good cockpit. And the beautiful thing about it is you can actually turn it around. You can change it. It's interchangeable. Like this section down here, which you see the radios, is a standalone add-on to it. So it actually connects to the cockpit panel, and it screws to the panel, and it comes out and gives you radio. And then this bit connects to the desk. So that gives you the distance you really require it to be from yourself to get the most comfortable reaches and stuff like that. And it's all tight. So it's all there. This one is actually the pre-version, like I said, which hasn't been completely finished yet, because I'm still debating on whether to simply have one like this one here. And if you can see that, tell me what you think in the comments. I've got this cot, so it goes dead straight up like that, and like that, and like that, and then back like that. That's the shape of it at the moment, yeah? It goes like that. So then you can put these mounts, which are, well, I don't know if you can see it, but I'll take that off. They're just mounts like that. They're hooks. There's some hook mounts. But these also can peel off, and they are pretty transparent. We may even just do them so they sit there and then they loop out on themselves, rather than be like so physical. Actually have them flat, because then it'll still be more transparent for people. And you only need really 2 screw holes to hold your iPad in place. This has got 4 in it, but so then you can put your iPad and just place your iPad on there, and you've actually got a physical cockpit and non-physical combined in one. So it's virtual and A&R, whatever they call it, at the same time, really. And it is really, really good fun to do, because every aircraft changes. So I can say, right, if you imagine I had just a the one cockpit now, and I had a Cessna cockpit, I would be pretty much with all my gauges, and I'd have all these Satec things, which or Logitech things, which are bloody arm and a leg to buy, and I had them and they all broke. But I'd have all those there, so I'm limited to that dashboard. However, if I so wanted to, I just literally, like, as you know this anyway, I feel a bit daft to even doing it. I could just change the aircraft, which would change the cockpit. And the only things that stay, which I've been obviously trying to figure out which ones, and that's why I've just left that one at the moment in the centre as an option. But in clear, I think I probably will, purely and simply because if people wanted to turn this to a TBM, you could move those so they actually line up like that with a TBM and put another one in the centre there, like that, yeah, and move them closer together so they get roughly the same sort of distance in between, and one there, and then you've got the TBM cockpit, but you've got all the switches and everything else that you can see behind this, and you can see through the dashboard because it's clear. So you're not actually really, the only things you're blocking out is if you set your headset, if you set your position incorrectly. Now this is set pretty much incorrectly, to be fairly honest with you, but I could set it like that, and I can bring it up, and then I'll just zoom it in, maybe go like that a little bit, bring it down like that, maybe go a little bit to the left, just so I can still see, zoom it in, and there you got it. Then I've got my cockpit there set up how I want it, and I'm using 3 monitors. So this might be one monitor there, 3 little iPads, if you like, all connected through Space Desk, which is a free program, and you can donate to it, and it put all your different screens in there, you know, whatever you want to add to it, etc. It's a bit like doing this, really, you know. I say if I go to my screen here and I share the screen, I'm going to share the screen for you. Now it's come up with this Space Desk thing, which I'm going to, brilliant program, absolutely fantastic. Now I'm going to go from the flight simulator, as you know, and I'm just going to Alt press that, and I'm going to bring that one, make it smaller, like so, and then I'll bring that into this screen there, and then it's now going to appear. I don't think you actually see that, but I'm going to put the map there in this screen here. So now I've got the map from the flight simulator actually in a physical map on here as well. Or you can go further and buy the G1000, and which actually your touch screen, like that one over there, in fact, is on the side, is actually a touch screen, and that's the same thing. It's just an iPad too, and that's running Simeonic's G1000, so I can have the G1000 there with the real map in the middle, so it gives me 3 screens, but I've still got the surround of the cockpit visual where I'm looking at over the top, and it's just a case of a little bit of fiddling and say, wow, like that. Once you get where it is, you're pretty much happy with that. Yeah, that's good enough for me, I'm happy with that. But if I don't want that, then if this was 100% clear and it was down on top of the thingy with a little holder which we're going to put to go on to the bottom of here, so this may be a little bit higher, or it may maybe come in and bend in like that so it fits the holder, the iPad into this holder as well, so it fits. So you can have your map there, and you can still see through these bits if you wanted a different cockpit. That's just generally the idea. I hope that's a bit of an insight into mycockpit.co.uk and bkcockpits.co.uk, because we're the only ones in the UK. Well, I say we, it's only me. I'm the only one in the UK actually making these, and of the ones that I've sold, everybody's been absolutely over the moon and really, really pleased with it. And now I've shown them that the ones that they have got, if they so desire, if they want to, peel off the front and peel off the back and make a dead line like I've got like now, they've actually got a physical cockpit, but you can see through the top half. So they can do the same as I have and just have their monitors there and have all the switches and other things that you can't see in the background. They can be shown through the gaps that you obviously manoeuvre into where they are. So, but they're really happy with it. It's a really great setup compared to, I used to have them all stacked on a unit, like on my units there, and it didn't look nothing like a cockpit. But anybody that walks in the room now, oh my God, he's got a bloody aeroplane in there, you know. And it is in fact the cockpit dashboard that makes it, because they're in reach and you can touch everything and you can manipulate things, but you still got the beautiful hard work and billions of pounds were spent reproducing the cockpits of all the aircraft, so you don't lose that and be left with just one like cockpit dashboard panel like I make, that everything fits into, but you can't see what's behind it, so you've only got 1, 2, 3 monitors and your units to plug you sort of into it, and that's pretty much it. So it really does make it look so much better. I can't stop playing in VR or non-VR now, so it's sort of given me another lease of life, because I sort of went out of VR for a bit when it came out. It was a novelty to me and I quite liked it. And then I thought, wouldn't it be nice to be able to do the two, being in VR, fly in VR, like I'm happy in VR, and then sort of kick out of VR and go into normal. So, and I might have done like 8 hours with my bloody headset on my head. So, well, of course you can. Now you can do it. You just go to your view like that, and this is how I do it anyway. Just put, make that, then go into VR like so. Right, so I've now turned the screen off as normal, because I've turned it into virtual reality screen. Then the good idea then, once you've done that, is to grab it. No, hang on a minute. Grab your VR screen, if you can, if it'll let me. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to move my sidebar thing at the top, because for some reason, taskbar manager settings. I'm just going to move it to the side, because you can't clip it when it's like that. Taskbar, custom, yeah, custom, taskbar, custom. I'm going to make it go taskbar. That's really strange, I can't find it now. There's a button you press, I can't remember, guys. Oh, I'm tired, it's been a long day. Custom, oh yeah. Put it custom, put it to the left. So I just move my taskbar now so it goes to the left. And then I can actually tell you what I'm trying to do. Finish my conversation with you then. Right, anyway, sorry about that. It's just my little mishap. Now I've made the screen really, really small now. So if you can still see that on the video I'm making, it's a nice little tip as well. I think I mentioned it before, but I'll do it again in case anybody couldn't be bothered to listen, really. So just get that. Now, if you look now, I've got this big screen here, and it's a double screen. That's the VR screen. What you want to do with that VR screen is move that VR screen into a like an extended monitor. Yeah, like a iPad screen or something like that. Preferably an iPad screen or a touch screen. Now what you've got now, I'm looking at pretty much my VR headset view, which moves all over the place, yeah, which is quite annoying to you, I suppose, at this stage. But it is still on a VR headset, and I'm looking around like that. And if I want to get from VR and not go in and out of VR, obviously you can do it by switch. But to get, like, my mouse at the moment is like I'll put it out of the screen for you. So my mouse is going to go, let's press that, and I'm going to put my mouse into a separate monitor, okay guys? So when it's in the separate monitor, now, if I want to move my mouse back into this thingy, or get out of it, or get into it, sometimes I can put the mouse in, and it's not actually in my VR screen, see? You can see maybe, if I go to somewhere it's dark, you'll see my mouse moving around here. But I can't press anything or get anything to work because it's not actually in the flight sim, and that really can get annoying to people. But this little idea by having an iPad, only an iPad 2, they're pretty cheap now. Download the Space Desk. Now if I want to put my mouse into that screen, I just touch that screen. Now my mouse is inside the flight simulator screen, see? Simple idea, but it works. And it gets you in and out of the VR. Well, definitely in for sure. Gets you back into it if you do something and you want to click out of it, and then you go click over here to do something while you're on a flight, and then you come back in and it's doing that and it won't work again. Just touch the screen and it puts you back into that screen again. So I hope that's helped. I mean, I do babble on a bit and go on a bit, but I hope that's of some interest to you. Please visit the website as well, robkmusic.com. That's my music site. I'm a fond musician and singer, songwriter and composer, whatever. But this is my other love. It's just flight simulations and the lovely people that I've met on like PlatSim and people that have helped out to get themselves from just a cockpit like this to, well, to this sort of thing, like 3-1 Victor Bravo, ready to taxi. And then you get the voice that comes back, and then you got the, you know, tune your radios into the right frequency, and all that, why that doesn't work now, how to fix that. And I mean, it takes me hours. I spend hours and hours doing it, but the reason I do it is because it's like I enjoy doing it, and I love helping people. It's great. It's just it's a really nice buzz to do something, and then you know that somebody else has walked away and they are so happy because you spent your time to do something for them for nothing. And that to me is that's what life is all about, guys. It's about, don't chase the money, chase what's true and honest to your heart, and what you know, what whoever the God is, whatever the God is, whoever and whatever. I'm sure if it's all the same God, he's got no intentions of any of us chasing around money. There's an old saying, these people that are like so-called self-appointed, you know, we own the world people, they are going to be the richest people in the graveyard, you know that. And when they're on that, in their graveyard, or before, or on their deathbed, and people are, these millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires are thinking how fantastic their lives and how much they've got, they're going to be heartbroken because they're going to lose it when they die. Well, so I'll give it to my kids, and your kids are just going to blow it up the wall and enjoy their self-party, and hopefully they have more humanity than these evil people that are currently trying to run the world, like the World Economic Forum. But go and, don't take my word for it, go and have a look and check that out as well. That'd be a bit interesting. Anyway, I'm not going to go on about that because I'll get kicked off. But anyway, God bless you all, and love you.